A miracle of the Virgin Mary unfolded in the ICU of a hospital in Chicago at 3 a.m. A doubting nurse witnessed the impossible. The cameras captured nothing but her world. Changed forever. Before we go on, drop a comment with your location and the current time there. I'm curious how far these stories of Mary's wonders are traveling. Sarah Mitchell, 38, with 15 years in the ICU at that Chicago hospital. The kind of nurse who's seen it all. Nothing phases her anymore. Her hands had pulled countless lives back from the edge. Her eyes had stared down horrors most only glimpse in bad dreams. And her heart, it had learned to stay numb. In the ICU, emotion is a luxury you can't afford. Her shift ran 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. 8 hours of hushed beeps, ventilator drones, and the sudden alarms that spike adrenaline. Most people crumble on night shift, the body rebels. The mind fogs. Sarah thrived in it. Fewer staff, fewer questions, fewer grieving. Families clogging the halls. She wasn't cruel, just hollowed out. To grasp what she encountered that night, rewind 12 years. Sarah was in the same hospital, but not in scrubs, as a sister. Emily, 23, sparkling green eyes, the sunniest soul Sarah ever knew. Have you watched the light drain from someone you love like a candle guttering out? The family begged. Heaven, novenas, vows, candles in every room. Sarah prayed until her throat gave out. Please, God, spare her. She bargained everything. Yet one March dawn, Emily slipped away. Something in Sarah died, too. Not rage, not grief, just a vast emptiness, a black hole where faith used to be. She never prayed again. She kept working, kept saving strangers. At the hospital, they called her the top ICU nurse, precise, unflinching IC, especially toward families clutching rosaries, murmuring pleas. It twisted something in her, pity laced with scorn. She stayed silent, just did the job. Vitals, meds, charts. Each morning at 7, she drove home without glancing skyward. Why bother when no one's listening? But in January 2025, on a bitter Chicago night, Sarah was about to learn some convictions aren't set in stone. Tuesday, ordinary. She clocked in at 10:45, early as always, locker room. Ponytail, quick phone check. 2 texts from mom. Ignored. Those talk for 2. Raw. Shift began calmly. 6 patients. For stable, 2 critical. Bed 4. 70-year-old post-op heart, holding. Bed 6. 52-year-old pneumonia, mending. Bed 8. 16-year-old crash victim, touch and go, but alert. Bed 3. Robert Patterson, 62, 5 days in deep coma, outlook murky. Have you ever felt instant recoil from a scene, not the person but what it symbolizes? That hits Sarah passing bed 3. Not Robert. He was just a man, battling oblivion. It was his family. Wife Margaret, daughters Rachel and Claire. Always there with that blue rosary. Whispering Hail Marys, our Father's hands knotted around it like a lifeline. Every word scraped Sarah's old wound. She said nothing, just log vitals, tweaked. Drips moved on. Margaret always murmured, "Thank you, nurse. God bless you." Sarah nodded and escaped. That Tuesday they lingered past 9 p.m. visiting hours. Sarah allowed it, easier than debate. Midnight, the ICU fell into that dense middle of the night hush. Sarah did rounds, monitors, blankets, muscle memory. 1 a.m., 2:30. All routine. 3:15 a.m. She typed charts, numbers, doses, autopilot. Beep. Bed 3. She sighed, grabbed the clipboard. Another tweak, the 10th at night. Dim blue corridor, machine hum, heavy quiet. She parted the curtain and froze. Not wrong, different. She inhaled. Roses. Vivid, fresh like a summer garden. In midwinter. Sarah scanned. No flowers. Band in ICU. She eyed the vents. Nothing. Yet the scent flooded the space. undeniable. Her fingers shook as she adjusted the drip. She fled back to the station, tried to focus, but Rose's haunted her. Hallucination from exhaustion. She insisted. 15 years of nights bound to happen. Ever deny the undeniable? Shift ended uneventfully. Driving home, fragrance clung to her clothes. Next night, same drill. Robert unchanged. Margaret had visited. Blue rosary dangled from the bedrail. Sarah ignored it. 3:15 a.m. bed. 3 screamed. Urgent alarm. Sarah bolted. Vitals crashing, pressure tanking, heart erratic. Come on, she muttered, prepping. Emergency meds. Then presence. Not sound, not motion, but density in the air, warm, electric. Sarah's pulse hammered. She didn't want to look. Deep breath, turn. A woman beside the bed, close enough to touch. Blue mantle, storm sky deep, holding impossible light. White tunic, glowing from within. But the face young, dark hair cascading, eyes profound brown. Seeing straight through her, compassion. So vast, every scar, every loss, every despair felt held, known, cherished. The gaze of a mother who understands grief. Sarah's knees buckled. She gripped the rail. The woman's hand hovered over. Robert, blessing. She turned, smiled. A voice, not external, but inside Sarah's chest. You carry guilt that isn't yours. Time to forgive yourself. Sarah's breath stopped. One blink, the woman vanished. Roses exploded, thicker, intoxicating. Monitors, pressure climbing, rhythm steadying. Sarah stood, trembling, mind reeling. She stumbled to the bathroom, locked it, sank to the tile, and wept. Raw, 12 years damned up. For Emily. For rage, for walls, for mock prayers, for the terrifying sprout of hope. What if? No, she hissed. Not again. Too late. Light had breached the fortress. 20 minutes later, she splashed cold water, returned to station. Marcus, night guard, passed. You good, Sarah? She nodded, but both knew better. 4 a.m. Still. Shaking, Rose's lingering voice echoing. She needed proof. Security room. Marcus. Last 2 hours footage. He raised a brow but rolled it. 3:15 alarm. Sarah. Rushes, works, glances aside repeatedly, as if seeing someone. Screen. Only her. Robert. Machines. No figure, no light. Why the side glances? Marcus asked. Like you're talking to thin air. Sarah mumbled about monitor reflections. Walking back, truth settled. Not for cameras, only for her. Terror struck, not of ghosts, but of implications. If real, her 12-year. Cynicism crumbled. Shift blurred. 7:15 a.m. Parking lot. Sunrise. She sat in the car. Opened Mom's texts. Mom, Sarah. 12 years today. Emily wouldn't want you. Closed off. Call me. Sarah typed. Need to talk. Something happened. Can I come? After sleep? Instant reply. Always here. She drove home, paused outside, looked skyward. No words, just looked. A start. Fitful sleep. Emily's laugh. Blue mantle. Those eyes. 2 p.m. She drove to Mom's. Same modest house. Rose Bush's dad. Planted. Doorbell. Helen opened. Worry in. Her smile. Inside, unchanged, photos. Emily's portrait beaming. Sarah lingered. Her 22nd birthday, Helen said softly. Kitchen, tea, old family table. What happened? Helen asked. Sarah stared into her cup. Do you still believe after everything? Helen knew. In God, Mary? Yes. How? Voice cracking. We prayed. He ignored us. Helen took her hand. I asked why for years. Then, 3 months. After, in Emily's room with her teddy, I felt peace, like a hand on my shoulder. She's okay. You will be. Sarah, what if? It was wishful. Helen, that's not why. You're here. You saw something. Sarah, poured out. Rose's apparition eyes. Voice. Helen listened then. Emily would. Be glad you're feeling again. Sarah, sobbed. Leaving at dusk, silence felt. Lighter. Weeks shifted. Bed 7 family. Praying Rosary. She paused, listened. Hail, Mary, full of grace, no sting. 5 weeks. Later rounds. Bed 3, Robert's hand. Twitched. 3:15 alarm. Sarah ran. Eyes. Fluttering. Mr. Patterson. She hit the call. Slowly, he opened his eyes, locked on hers. Sarah swayed, gripped the bed. Doctors had given days. He woke. Dr. Chun stormed in. Protocols. Sarah retreated to the hall, leaned against cool wall. Breathed thanks, quiet, wordless. She kept the night shifts, but a small Virgin Mary image now hid in her drawer, blue-robed, smiling. No instant saint, doubts lingered. She never spoke of January, the uncaptured vision. Some truths live in the heart, unproven. Robert recovered fully. Therapy, grit. Follow-ups, he grinned. Thank for those weeks. Sarah, just my job. Inside, maybe not only me. If a hardened nurse can reclaim hope, anyone can. That's the true wonder. Do you believe in Mary's miracles? Comment below. If this moved you, subscribe, hit the bell. Share your own miracle in comments. Send this to someone needing hope. May the Virgin Mary bless and guard you and yours. Amen.